I swear.
Okay. We're good.
Oh my
We're alive.
goodness.
We're
We're
alive.
live.
We're
Mm-hmm.
alive.
We
Good
just popped up
morning.
on. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Yeah,
We
so.
just popped up on my Facebook. I'm gonna click on it and make sure. Oh yeah, and there's like very, very little delay today.
Good.
That's good.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. How are you guys
I'm sure
this
I forgot.
morning?
I know. Hey, who's out in Facebook land? I'm watching you. I'm gonna pull up YouTube so I can. Actually, maybe I shouldn't do that because then I get all super distracted.
Yeah, don't get
But
distracted.
so it's Christmas Eve.
I know. Can you believe
I
this
can't.
year's like already almost over?
Thank goodness.
Right?
I know that, like, I don't know. I have only met one person recently who said this was the best year ever. They don't know what everybody's talking about. And I was like,
Hey, that's a good perspective.
I'm so happy for her that
Yeah.
she had such a good year. And I know that there's some people who've had a really good year, but there's been a lot of, I think the hardest part about this year, besides all the loss, I mean, this year has been tough in a lot of ways, but I think the hardest part is just like not like I can't like just easily go travel and I can't just like go easily see people. And I think that for me has been tough.
Yeah.
So, but we talk about the silver linings and there's a lot of them actually. A lot more than probably any other year in a long time.
I know.
So, we got to look at the rainbows of our life.
Your mom's commented. So Arlene says, "Hi, sweethearts. Merry Christmas. Kiss, kiss." Hello, Arlene.
Hi, Mama.
Merry Christmas. And then Renee says, "And my tamales are ready."
Mom, mean. That's mean.
So she's teasing you.
You want some tamales? No, I don't need any tamales, dude.
Oh my god.
I got on the scale this morning and I was like, uh-oh.
You stop.
Uh-oh.
None of my pants fit. Be quiet.
I wore like my my cheapy leggings that I got on Amazon yesterday.
Yeah.
That was a mistake.
Yeah.
I was pulling those suckers up all day.
Oh, man.
I'm like, man, I'm fat.
No, you're not. Shut up. I got these like fake leather leggings because you know how I like the fake leather ones, right?
Are they the ones that you used to have? Like the kind you used to have?
No, sadly, like okay, I got like 3 pairs of those, so I'm like good. But I wanted to try these new ones that I got on Amazon too, and I was like not happy with them at all. They're super tight. I was like, okay, I gotta like trim it down a little bit, you know? But it's okay. It's okay. It's totally natural.
You're beautiful and gorgeous, and I know that like this is just a funky time.
Oh my gosh.
And we just got to get back on it.
We're gonna get back at pictures of us from like 2 years ago, and I'm like, oh my god, we were so skinny. But
yeah, I look at those and I get really sad. I'm like, man, what did I do? I lost like 60.
Beautiful.
I lost like 60 pounds, y'all, and I almost gained it all back. But let's not talk about that.
Okay,
that's negative. Let's talk about positive stuff. I see that Jerome is on. Hello, Jerome. Good morning. My friend Chris is on. Hi, Chris. I miss you.
Hey guys.
Me and Chris used to hang out all the time. She'd come into my store and we'd have fun and play with stuff. And she makes really cute stuff. And I miss her. So I'm glad that she's on and saying hello.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, those of you that have been hopping on and the new people, hi, welcome. Those of you who've been sticking it out with us every week, we love you. I can't believe it's already episode 8.
I know, right? 8 weeks. This is crazy.
We've done this consistently for 8 weeks?
We've been consistent for 8 weeks, guys. That's a thing. That's a milestone for us. Oh, your mom says, or Renee says she got her joggers from JRV Home, and they are scrumptious.
Ooh, fun!
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check those out because I need some nice ones.
Nice, yummy. Well, so okay.
Good morning, Pockets.
I don't have a lot of I can't wear a lot of hotter clothes here because
Yeah. Oh yeah.
it's not cold.
Humid.
But okay, that is kind of sad. I know everyone's like, "Shut up, Krystal, you're in Hawaii."
Yeah.
Yes, it is Hawaii. But I do kind of miss being cozy. I miss jackets and pants and slippers. And I mean, I could throw all that on, but I got to turn my air conditioner way down to feel like I'm able to wear it. You know, I got girl stuff, hot flash. It's too hot to wear all that. Yeah. But yeah, hi Pockets. How are you? So good to see you today.
Morning. We had a great winter solstice. So do you want to talk about that?
Oh, yes. Oh my gosh. It was so much fun. Now, that day was kind of chaotic because I decided to venture out to the mall earlier, and that was kind of a mistake, but I had to get something. And so then I was trying to come back. I ran to Costco to get us something to eat, and I grabbed everybody up and we ran out to the west side of the island to a beach called Nanakuli. And everybody was lined up. All the cars were lined up along the coastline. It was cool.
Ooh.
It was kind of like amazing. Like awesome. You don't see that lately. And you know, everybody was being cool, keeping their distance, but they were all lined up in their cars, like ready to watch the show. And yeah, I mean, it was at first when I first saw the star, I was like, it just looks like a star. And I was like kind of bummed that it wasn't more spectacular. You know, I was expecting this grandiose thing. And but then as it got a little darker, you could see that it was the brightest thing in the sky besides the moon. And I was like, you know, this is really cool. Something is happening in our lifetime that won't happen again. And I mean, it'll happen again, just not the same. It won't be as close. I should clarify,
will be
because
a very, very long time.
We will be, unless we become vampires, we'll be long dead by the next time.
Yes, exactly. I thought it was amazing. I missed it though. So what happened was in Arizona, for me, from my perspective, it wasn't dark enough when it actually crossed paths. So we couldn't see it, but we did see it after, and I got a picture of it through the telescope and stuff like that. So that was really cool. And you could see Jupiter's little moons, and it was really cool, really beautiful.
The pictures that I've seen from the telescopes that show Saturn's rings, it's just amazing. I'm like, wow, that's real.
I know. That's real. It really does have rings.
It really does have rings.
Yeah.
And then like the color of Jupiter, like I mean, yeah, you've seen pictures, I guess, but like to know that you're looking at it from here and you can see it is just, I don't know, blows my mind. My brain was like looking up at the sky and just imagining so many things and thinking about like what's out there, and it's just so many thoughts. I'm like, I'm gonna sound like a nerd right now.
No,
but I adored what we saw, and just a time to hang out. We were having so much fun when we were listening to like Hawaiian Christmas music on the beach, jamming out, eating dinner. It was beautiful, and lots of little families all over the beach, just kind of watching it with us. And then of course, like we have a lot of airplanes that come through. So like the kids would see like a big shiny light to the right, and they're like, "Mom, what's that?" And I'm like, "It's an alien." And they're like, "What?" I'm like, "No, it's a plane."
My brother saw something really spectacular. And
yeah.
So I know your friend Jamayet commented on one of our videos about the
whole
thing, and my brother literally saw the same thing. He was like, I don't know, I just woke up for no reason at 4 a.m, and I just was like, go outside. So he was like, okay, I'm just gonna go outside and look. And it was like this light that came up, whoop, and then stood there still, but then it moved like up over his apartment. And he was
That's
like,
exactly what John Mayette said he saw.
What the heck is that? But that happened like last month to him, okay? And then it happened again. It's so weird. No, not to Jamia. I'm talking about to my brother.
No, but I think Jamia had a similar experience, and he's in Bangladesh, so you know.
It's crazy.
That's cool.
I know.
Oh, I'll have to tell him. He'll be like, "What?"
We don't know what it was, but he was like, it was the most spectacular thing, you know? So,
Oh,
definitely cool. Good morning, Darla. I love you.
Jerome said he saw Hades' comet too. That's so cool. I love
Hades
it.
comet?
Yeah, I don't know. Jerome, tell us more about Hades' comet. Where did you see that?
Yeah, I haven't heard of that.
Oh, are you talking about like in the past? Like not recently?
I don't know.
I saw the Hale-Bopp comet when I was a kid.
Yeah.
That was really, really cool. Like, I was glad that I saw that. And I remember when we were kids and we got to see the solar eclipse and we built those little box things to view it. That was so cool. I'm like, oh, I want to do that. We need to do that again.
Yeah.
That was
Another
a lot
really
of fun.
cool thing that happened was my dad saw a shooting star through the telescope.
Oh, I saw a shooting star too.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Cool.
Misha saw it too, or she thinks she saw. I don't know if she actually saw it, but she saw something moving in the sky, and I said it was probably a falling star. And then I happened to see, and my mom, we happened to see a falling star at the same time.
Cool.
I love when that happens because you don't. I don't know. That's kind of random and rare, but it's cool.
Definitely.
I like it. I love space. I wish that I was an astronaut and could go into space.
No.
Yes. I was like,
allowed to leave.
Okay, can we travel to, because we were talking about the distance from here to Mars, and David said it would take, I think he said 7 months to travel to Mars, and then Jupiter is obviously even farther, but it would take a couple years, like 6 years to get there. I don't know if we could survive. Maybe I'm going to sound stupid right now, but can we be in a spaceship? Can we live on a spaceship for 6 years? I don't know. I mean, now I want to now I need to Google it because I'm like, wouldn't it be cool to like travel to Jupiter or Saturn and see that?
I'm an Earth child. I love space and I love seeing all of the celestial bodies and I love watching what they do and I love thinking about how they affect our planet because like people are always like, oh, the planets don't affect us, and I'm like, the moon literally affects the whole ocean. So
yes, it does.
if that's true, then the rest of the planets have to have an effect on everything too. And it's just think about our solar system as like one big clock, you know? And all of the planets do their little rotations and things, and they all have their energy that they carry and that they emit, you know? So it's like, man, think about the pull and the push and all of that, all of those waves.
I tried to tell David that, and he's like, nah, Jupiter and Saturn are too far. I'm like, I don't know.
They're huge.
They're so big. We can see them with the naked eye.
They have their place in the solar system, that they have so much power, and I don't know. I just feel like there's so much more, and if we just opened our minds a little bit more to the possibilities.
It's such a big, vast universe. There's so much out there that we don't know about, and it's like the ocean. I was learning about the oceans, some of the ocean stuff with Misha, and it said that 95%, I think it said 95% of the ocean has been undiscovered. Like there's a whole bunch of ocean that we haven't even like looked at yet. And I'm like,
is terrifying. I love it.
What?
But when you get down into the deeper parts where you can't see anything, it's like, what? No. Oh, so Renee says, we were broke down on the highway during Hale-Bopp?
Oh, the Hale-Bopp comet.
Oh, Hale-Bopp. So
Hale-Bopp comet.
They got to watch it. Oh, well, we were stuck, she says. Ask David about it. He took a ride with the trucker.
Okay. I want to hear this trucker story.
Where is
David? Is full, I know he's full of random stories. He's got all kinds of crazy.
Sometime and make him tell us a story.
Dude, he's got I told him you need to write a book. You have some crazy stories. Like I just can't even believe some of the things. Oh my gosh, I won't tell the secrets, David. I love you. Jerome said that the Hades comet happened in 92. I think I do remember that. I think I do. Yeah, it's very foggy because I was like 7, but I think I do remember that.
That's so crazy.
I'm like, I can't read these comments without my glasses, so I'm zooming in.
Jupiter was named after the god Jupiter in Greek. All the moons of Jupiter are named after the women of his affairs.
Is this a little bit better? Hopefully.
What?
Darla said she could hardly hear me, so I moved my mic in a little bit and I turned it up a little bit. I just didn't want to be too loud because on my other stream for my gaming stuff, I'm way loud and I scream a lot because I'm like playing video games and I'm like, what?
Well, I was messing with my dial because I think when we recorded our last Far Out Friday, I had turned it down and I was like, okay. And so last night I'm like, test. This is at medium.1. And then I like kept adjusting so I could hear like what it sounded like. All the way is like, oh, it's like too loud.
Renee says he had to go to school and I had to go to work. ... So I think that has to do with the trucker thing.
That was in what year was that, Mom? I don't remember. Because then I can think about how old David would have been.
I mean, he had to have been pretty young, right? Like, okay, Darla says my sound's better now. Thank you. Thank you for chiming in.
Hi, Darla. Good
my
morning.
Little beautiful auntie.
So, okay, so we had the Christmas star this week, and it was amazing. I hope that if you didn't get to see it, that you still try to see it because you can see it all week.
Yeah.
It's obviously not going to be like right on top of each other. And I think that was our problem too. I think when it was finally visible to us, it was still too bright outside for us to have seen the actual conjunction. Because by the time we saw it, you could definitely see that they weren't together anymore.
Yeah.
But other than that, like what has been up this week? What have you been up to? I know it's Christmas and little thing. I mean, I'm trying to be more cool about like what Christmas means, especially this year because we're not rich. We don't have a lot, and trying to teach my kids it's not all about presents.
Yeah.
There's far more to it than that.
That's the thing, though. I think it's changing your perspective on what rich means. Because if you think about, you are rich. You're just, maybe you don't have a lot of paper money, but you have a lot.
Yes.
So that's the thing. We need to, like, shift our perspective and really remember how much we really have because we're all pretty rich. Like, if you really put that into perspective. Renee says he was a senior. David was a senior.
Oh, and you didn't have a car. Oh, wait, his car might have broke down. He had a bug, I think, at that time, and it may or may not have been working. Who knows? I'm sure there's more to that story.
Yeah.
But as far as the rich, David's been reading. I'm gonna botch this, David. Help me out. He's been reading a book. I think it's by a guy named Napoleon. It's somebody famous. I'm really gonna botch it. But it's about being rich and not with money.
Yeah.
And it's a really good book, really good perspective on things. Yeah. I definitely feel like everyone's perspective's kind of shifting. I mean, don't get me wrong, there was like an insane amount of people at the mall, and I hated it. I was like, oh, I don't like this. I don't want to be here. Everybody's just everywhere shopping. It was chaotic. So I was like, I'm out. We were there for a very short time, and I don't really want to go back.
Yeah. I don't know. It's funny, like, the more we grow as people and on a conscious level and allow yourself to grow beyond things, then when you go back to those things, you realize that you're not attracted to that level anymore. It's just like, it doesn't vibe with you anymore. So you're like, okay, let's just not do that anymore. Let's move beyond that.
Well, think about the things and people maybe we were attracted to when we were like teenagers.
Oh my God, I think about that all the time. I'm like, what was wrong with me? What was wrong with me?
Why was I,
I mean,
I couldn't believe the things that I was into when I was a teenager, and I mean, some of them were good though, No Doubt Forever. I love No Doubt. But like, I mean, your perspective changes as you get older, and as you learn things and experience life, you find that you gotta focus on some other things, maybe some good, better things.
And it's totally okay to like have once been a certain way and done certain things and then grown from it and not do it anymore, and you're totally okay doing that. Like you're not fake.
People can change.
You
No,
know,
people can change for sure.
You're 100% good and true to yourself as long as you're living your truth, and whatever. You don't have to worry about if people say that you're fake, because that was a big thing, especially like in middle school and high school, and those types of things. People would always be like, oh, you're fake. And it's like, no, I'm a multifaceted celestial being, okay? And I can change and I can grow and I can be whatever I say I'm gonna be,
Yeah, Eminem. I am whatever you say. I'm sorry, that was totally not.
Oh my.
But no, it's true. Like, what did they used to call you, a poser if you did something that they said wasn't you, or you're being fake? Yeah, I mean,
and it's like, that is so elementary, and it's time to grow up and level up. Okay, like, yes. I always tell people, I'm like, it's time for all of us to level up. So like, let's get our act together, everybody, and be more understanding and loving to one another, because we're all on this journey and we don't know what the heck is going on. Like, nobody does.
There's no playbook. There's no rules.
We're all winging it as we go.
We all are doing our best. And if you are doing your best and you're doing good things,
exactly.
There can't be something wrong with that.
Exactly.
I just keep reminding myself of that. Like, focus on good things, focus on positive, and everything will be fine.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you lose everything you own today, this very second, guess what? Everything's going to still be fine.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of the game for 2020. That's what it's been. It's been, there's stuff that's out of our control. Stuff that we can control. So, instead of just dwelling and focusing on, the problems of, the past, focus on today and what you can do to do good.
Yeah.
And that's what this episode is about. We are talking about the good things of 2020. What's good 2020? Because there is a lot of good that has come from this year that most of us consider a dumpster fire.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. Darla says, if you think about it, the people with a lot of money are the most sad and unhappy person. So I agree. I know a lot of really wealthy people with the worst outlook on life. And it's really sad to me, because I'm like, you're investing all of this time and, energy, and you're putting all of yourself out there to make money, and for what? Because, none of us are making it out of this life alive. This life is so much more than just surviving. You know what I mean? Like, it's so much more than just money. And
yeah, and you can't take all that crap with you anyway. No. So,
And I know that, like, people say, oh, well, I want to leave it for my kids and their future generations and stuff, but things change. And we've seen that this year has brought on a lot of change. And there's a lot of things that are being said, too, about, like, what's really going on. We'll do a video about that for Far Out Friday, because it is a little bit fringe. But, there's a lot of things that can change at the drop of a hat. So we need to just enjoy our moments and embrace each other, embrace these moments that we have, because...
like, I thought about, like, when my dad got sick, right? Yeah. And how before he got sick, and before, like, I flew home to be with him and to be with my sister. And before that, I had all these things I had to do and get done, and we had this and da-da-da. But then when my dad got sick and I had to go, nothing else mattered.
Yeah.
And everything worked out. Like, everything that I needed to get done still got done, or it didn't, and it was okay.
Yeah, it didn't matter. Like, you thought that it mattered, right?
Yeah, and it sucks sometimes that it takes something drastic for us to realize that all those other things don't matter. But if we can keep that in mind, that, like, all these other little, like, things that we stress about, they don't matter. They really don't. Like,
they really don't.
you know, there's so much more to life than these things. And we were actually talking last night about because David does some landscaping stuff at some pretty wealthy houses here in Hawaii, and you know, sometimes he's just like, it's crazy how rich some of these people are. And I was like, I'm like, I want to be rich. And he's like, no, you don't. And I was like, yeah, no, not really. I mean, I'd love to have enough money to do the things I want to do and to be able to help people. And
but you do.
I do
exactly what you want. You have exactly what you need. And that's the thing that we all need to recognize. I do too. I have exactly what I want. Because if I think about it, do I want more than what I already have right now? No. Because if I did want more, I would go get it and I would go do it. And that would be my value in life. But that's not where it's at for me. Here, right here, with my family is where it's at.
And honestly, if something you want costs money, I don't know. I mean, that's a hard concept to think about.
They're making it so now everything costs money to go do stuff.
Everything costs money now.
And it's hard because it's like, on one hand, I'm like, fight the system, you know, money's bullshit, you know, like, I hate it all. I hate the money system, and I feel like there's so much that needs to be completely burned to the core because it's corrupt down through its roots, right? And so, like, I'm like, seriously, I'm a fight the system kind of girl, you know, but at the same time, I'm like, I understand why it's there, but I understand how it can be better, you know?
Well, we can choose. We have the choice of how we participate in that system.
Right.
And what we choose to allow ourselves to become attached to. We talk about this all the time, like loans and all that. I've never been more free. I love that we don't have a car loan or any of that. Our car insurance is like wicked cheap because we have used older cars. I mean, we've decided that we're going to probably sell a couple of the cars that we have and buy an even more reliable car, because a more reliable car is going to cost a little more money, but we're still going to buy used, and we're going to buy, we're going to not have a loan.
Pay it outright. Yeah, like that's the best way to do it. That's what my dad always taught me. He was always like, don't get yourself locked down into a payment. Just pay cash. Keep it cheap. Keep it simple. And he always told me, don't get credit cards. Don't get credit cards.
No, that is the biggest mistake. No, it's so true. Like, think about it. When you use a credit card, it's like, boom, boom, I got my thing. Yeah, what's up?
And
but then the payment comes and you're like, wait a second, I'm paying this much more for that thing that I bought. Or like, I used a credit card one time to buy like mascara. That $5 mascara probably ended up costing me $10. You know, I probably ended up paying double after, you know, if I forgot to pay the payment or, you know, the interest rate on the credit card. Like, we don't think about those little ways to save money, and it's kind of crazy. And then when I think about people who have astronomical amount of money and like what they buy, I was like, man, like, it makes my mind a little crazy.
I saw an Instagram post of a shower in someone's house.
Yeah.
And that shower was like the Lamborghini of showers. It made me feel like, how broke am I really? Because this thing was like, it's got automatic like digital panels in there. It's got like this beautiful mirror. It was the fanciest shower I've ever seen. And I'm like, why do we need that? Nobody needs that.
You don't.
Nobody needs that.
Don't get me wrong. I did, in my old house in Anthem, I did remodel my bathroom, and I freaking love that bathroom. But at the end of the day, my old bathroom was fine. And guess what?
It works.
A year after I built that bathroom, I sold my house. So I don't even get to enjoy it anymore anyway. And it was a lot of stupid money that, you know, I shouldn't have spent. But, you know, it's just, we learn, and we got to remember there's just certain things that I shouldn't say this, because if somebody has money and they're able to buy those things, great, go for it. But if we're working as a slave to pay for these things because we get into these like loans and stuff, it's just not, I don't know. I feel way more free without all those loans.
Yeah, I know. Losing everything sometimes it takes losing everything to make you wake up and realize like what you really
What
have and how free you are, and
what's
to
super
liberate yourself from it
important.
all. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't really have a lot of clothes even. I got rid of everything,
Yeah.
and that's okay, because now
It's
when I
good.
buy something I want. Like this t-shirt, for example. It says "Fight for Love." I was like,
I
I
love
want
that.
that, and I'm gonna buy that because I
It
can't,
stands for
I was
something that
able
you
to, like,
are though too. You know, I love
it's
that.
sentimental to me.
Mhm.
I feel like everything now I'll have the hardest time getting rid of clothes because everything I have has like some kind of meaning because I
Yeah.
only buy things that it speaks to me. I'm like, that is amazing. That I have to have, whatever. And I have to say that like 3 times before I buy it. Like
Yeah.
that's my that was a key rule that I've set for myself. Like if you don't really need it, you'll know because you'll come back to it. Give yourself like
Mhm.
3 times before you actually spend the money.
Yeah.
And that has helped me save so much money.
That's good. That's definitely a good way to be mindful about purchases and things like that. Like, I know we all need to kind of do that. I feel like we're getting there as a collective. We're understanding that like even buying from big businesses is not beneficial for us. We need to go back to our smaller mom and pop shops, those who have
Support your local
unfortunately
businesses.
been very, very hit hard through this year. But, I hope that everything comes back around. I feel like it will because I had a vision. Oh my God. Okay, I have
Yes,
to tell
tell,
you.
tell, tell.
Oh my gosh. So I wasn't even trying to meditate or anything last night, but it was before I was going to go to sleep. And I was just breathing. And all of a sudden, it just started showing me that, um, okay, there's Earth in the middle, and all around Earth is people holding hands. And then around them is people holding hands, and it's a spiral out all the way. And it's just
Yeah.
everyone is holding hands together, living collectively in harmony, and, all that. And then, so that was beautiful. And then there was this like pyramid that was like an upside down pyramid, and it came down and the people set it into this like thing that kind of like held it, but it was like floating inside of it. It was
Yeah.
weird, okay? And then but the next thing that happened was really amazing, and I saw this like white angel, and I've never seen an angel before. But there was this
Interesting.
white angel, and he was bright and he was shining, and he had these big golden wings. And he
Huh.
brought down another pyramid thing. And it was the weirdest thing. And I'm like, why is this happening? But what it impressed upon me is that things are coming together for harmony around the globe. And I'm like so hopeful for that because,
I believe that too,
yeah,
for sure.
but definitely I was like, I've never seen an angel before. This was amazing. And it wasn't, I'm not religious, you guys, so this is totally new for me, but like, it's not religion for me. It's all just a sign of like the new era, you know? And everything
Yeah.
is coming together, and it's going to be a very beautiful new age that we're going to experience. And we're in the beginning of it. We're in the
I
beginning of
100
this wave.
I 100% believe that. I
Yeah.
mean, there was like I had a friend reach out to me and they're like, "I think that this conjunction is a bad thing." Or my friend, or he said
No,
his
it's
friend thinks
beautiful.
it's a bad thing. And I was like, "I don't think so. I think that like with everything going on and it being so chaotic, we need this goodness to happen. I mean, from darkness comes light, and that's what I
Mm-hmm.
see happening. Even like I can only account for my own experiences,
Yeah.
but I had posted earlier this week, and it came from a conversation I was having with my husband because he was having a tough day and he was getting kind of down and he was just kind of feeling frustrated. And I was like, don't focus on the problems you're dealing with today. Think about your end game. Keep focus on your end game because you have a plan of what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it just got me thinking of how this year has helped me to be more mindful, mindful of my choices, mindful where I give my energy, and mindful what to focus on.
Yeah.
And I actually wanted to share I had asked some people on my personal page, tell me something good that came from 2020.
Yeah.
And I got more responses on here than it, and a lot of, like, I was really overwhelmed by how many people responded. And I thought that was really great. And I hope that I got people thinking about it, because I know a lot of people are going through a haze of just like, this year sucks. I hate this year. I'm depressed, whatever. Because there's been a lot of sad. I could probably write a book on all the sadness that I've been through this year, but what good does that do?
Right.
That doesn't do me any good. So instead, I've been focusing on the good things that have happened. But I've had several friends say they lost weight. That's awesome. I found it, but
hey,
I found your weight loss.
Me too. I soaked it all up, and I will carry that. I'm like, I'm okay with it for now.
I got my COVID weight. It's all good. But then I had, some people got a raise or a promotion. That's awesome.
Yeah, congratulations.
Some people, I had several friends say they bought a house. I'm like, that's awesome. That's wonderful.
Great.
That's really great.
Yeah.
One friend said her sister was able to finally get her baby girl. So that's awesome. There's been a lot of babies born in 2020. I've had several friends have babies this year, and I'm like, that's really freaking cool. Yeah. Like, that's wonderful. If it happened when you're on lockdown, hey, you're having fun.
My Aunt Darla said people waking up is what came from this year. And I agree with you 100%, because if you think about it, I always think about it this way. I always say, for every move the darkness makes, the light turns the tables. So, all of this stuff that was dark, right, happened to us. And we were supposed to be locked away in our houses. And, but the beautiful thing about being locked away inside of your house is it gives you more time to think about your life, your path, your position, your place in this universe, and then it lets you see all of the problems that have been, incorporated into this system that we've been living in. And once we get time to ourselves to think about all of those things, then people are realizing, okay, so this is what's really wrong. This is the real problem that we have. And, now definitely people are waking up to all of this crap that's been pushed on us, because there has been a lot of crap pushed on us as a society and as people in this nation and people of the world. And I'm really happy to see that a lot of people are coming to, and they're like, this is...
I see you. Yeah, exactly. Well, we didn't, and maybe we did realize it, but I don't think people realize the astounding amount of influence that the things that we put in our lives have. Example, social media. I mean,
they didn't have the time.
Huge. Because we
were on the go. I have to pay bills, so I have to go to work. All these hours I'm working, and for some reason you can't get beyond that threshold of catching up or being ahead, because there's always a trap. There's always something there that's going to snare you and to get its hooks into you. So, and it's the way that the system is designed. It's systematically created this way to enslave the minds of people. I talk about it a lot because it's true, and it's something that I'm super passionate about, is fight the system, because it's the devil.
No, it really is the dark. That keeping up with the Joneses mentality, it just traps you in a life of unhappiness. And like you were talking about the wealthy people, there's a lot of them that are unhappy. In fact, we've been listening to a lot of books on tape or Audible or whatever, and listening to these stories of people who had these amazing businesses and how they started them and all this stuff. But the most collective thought between all these people is that they said money doesn't make you happy. And I mean, we're talking like the guy from Nike or the person who invented Lululemon.
Mm-hmm.
And they just were like, all that stuff, it doesn't bring happiness.
No.
In fact, the guy who created Lululemon ended up losing his whole enterprise that he created because he was voted off by the board because he didn't do something right. He didn't set himself up right. So he actually ended up getting kicked out by his own company.
Yeah.
And they took it, because there's greedy, money hungry people.
Oh,
and
yeah. That's what we talked about that one episode too, was that how greed is, the love of money is the root of all evil. It really truly is.
Yeah. It's a vampire. It sucks the life out of you.
It really does.
And I wouldn't trade any of the stuff that I've gone through and learned for anything, because I would rather like have what I've got now than back when things were like rolling and I thought we were doing so good, because the perspective I've gained is so much more rich.
Yes. It's
so much more amazing.
Exactly.
And that is something good that's come from this year for me. Yeah. I think I've talked about this a few times. I used to work like 12 hours a day. I mean, I had my day job and I ran the plant store, sometimes even longer than that. And I never saw my kids, even though they were right there. They were on the same property with me. I never saw them. And I lost my connection to my faith. Like, I wasn't really practicing my faith, really. I mean, I was praying here and there, but not really. I was all
busy
all over, because I was focusing on this plan to build this empire. Because at the end of the day, what did I want? I wanted to make money and create this thing. And it took up my whole life. And yeah, at the time, I thought the perspective of what I was doing was going to be bringing good. But had I stopped for a minute and looked around, I would have stopped right there. I even had moments where I was like, I can't do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. But I couldn't stop. I was trapped in it. I was already in it, and there was nothing I could do. Because at the time, if I stopped then, I would have lost everything. Well, guess what? I lost everything anyway.
I know.
Because it was forced upon me to not be able to fix it and save it.
Because it's not sustainable. It's not a sustainable life energetically for us as celestial beings. We're celestial spirit beings. And we only have a certain level of like how much we can take of this system. That the industrial, whatever you want to call it, capitalistic system. It drives me crazy.
Honestly, I thought about it, and we could have kept fighting. We could have done all kinds of stuff to keep it afloat. But there probably still would have come a point where it was all going to fall apart anyway, because, I mean, look, it's already December, and I wouldn't have been able to do the things that actually made sense for what I was doing. Like, we wouldn't have made enough to survive.
I know.
And so, it's okay. And like you said, everybody woke up, and we woke up, and we were like, this is not the life that we want.
Yeah.
We were molding our path based on expenses, really. Like, okay, well, we can't do this anymore because it's not making enough money to pay these, X, Y, and Z bills. So we're going to have to up our game and do this thing we never wanted to really do. We have to do it now because we have to make money. And at the end of the day, it was just to make money to survive. It wasn't even to make money to have extra money. It was, we were drowning in debt. And yeah, no, bye.
But that's the beautiful part about the universe, is that it falls apart so that things that are meant for us can come together. We have to remove all of the toxic or the negative things that are holding us back in order for us to bring in the new. We have to prove that we're ready for that by removing our connections from toxic things that are bad for us, or things that we shouldn't be doing. Things that are not meant for us. Let it go. And then allow yourself to be in that moment of freedom, and then the right things will come into your life. That's something that I've learned this year. So it's a beautiful year. It's been a beautiful experience.
Yeah. And a lot of the things that I hear from people say, they're learning, like I heard my uncle is like playing a synthesizer again. I'm like, what? That's awesome.
So
like my
cool.
uncle hasn't played that I know of almost my entire life, but I know that's something that he was passionate about.
Tell him to record it and we'll share it on It's All You Now.
I know.
That'd be so
I know
cool.
I need to call. But yeah, like it's just spectacular. And like, okay, I did something that I never would have done in the past. Recently, I sang a Christmas song with my daughter.
I know.
And I played it. Oh gosh. I played it on the guitar and I was really like hesitant because it was a song that I didn't know. And most of the chords are pretty easy, but the dang F chord is really hard for me. It is.
F is always the hardest.
But honestly, it's my own fault because I haven't practiced enough. And if I practice more, that's why I'm so much better at the other chords, because I practiced all those a lot. I just need to practice that F chord. But like, I was able to do that with my daughter.
I know.
And it was fun. And I was like, that wasn't scary. That was fun. I want to do that again.
I know.
And I just, would I have done that before? No, I would have been like, I'm sorry, we can't do this. I'm too busy.
Yeah.
And that's sad.
Darla said,
makes me sad.
Darla said, we have to go through things before we see what's important. And that's so true. And I think about everything that I've been through over the past, my whole life, but especially over the past few years, and how my perspective has totally shifted. And I look at life now and I'm like, because I sleep in the bed with the kids still, because they still let me. So I'm like, I'm taking advantage of that. But
I love it.
So in the middle of them every night, and I'm holding their hands, and I'm like, if I had to die right now, and this was the way that I died, this was it. This was like the best moment, and like, I'm so thankful for it. I'm gonna cry. It's so cute.
Oh, made me cry. No, I feel that way too. Like when we were at the beach, and now Brad wasn't there, and Jacob's not here. Oh
my gosh.
But I felt this like overwhelming sense of just like happy. Like I have everything I need right here.
Yeah.
Right now. I don't need anything else. And yes, I miss my friends. I miss you. I miss my sisters. I miss my brother. I wish I could be with all of them. I wish they could just all be here with me right now. And we could just be together.
I know.
But, like, I think when I think of like too cute. When I think of things that I'm afraid of, I'm so afraid that there's going to be like a tsunami or an earthquake and all my kids aren't going to be with me.
Oh my God, no. That will never happen. You're going to be okay.
I know. But like I think about that and I'm like, it terrifies me thinking about like little Kira by herself or with people she doesn't really know and being scared. And that's like so scary. But you know what? Right now, Kira is with me almost 100% of the time, unless I'm going into the store. She's with me all the time, and I am so thankful for that. I'm so thankful for the time I get to be with my mom.
I know.
The time I get to be, with the girls, teaching them, and that has been a journey. I decided to homeschool my kids this year, but I don't regret any of it. I think it's been magical and beautiful, and I've learned so much from them, and we've just had a lot more time together, and that has been beautiful. And that I know that like that's not the case for everybody. I know that time at home has not always been easy for everybody. And I know that there's some people that are in like difficult relationships and they're stuck at home together, and that's not good either.
I know.
So I try to be aware of those situations. I know that I've got some really great stuff happening here, but I know that some other people still have some struggles going on at their house right now
that they have to work through, and they have to figure out what they're going to do about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're in a bad situation, you shouldn't stay. Like if you're in an abusive relationship or anything like that, you should not stay. You should try to figure out a way out. And I know that like a lot of women go through this like thing where they feel like they have nowhere else to go. They don't want to be a burden on other people or whatever the case may be. That's not true. You would not be a burden on anybody else. Like if you're in an abusive situation, just reach out to whoever you feel like you can trust and get out.
Get out.
I've been there. And it's it's not a place where we need to stay. So
No.
I don't know.
And I feel like I've seen there's a couple people that I've noticed have made big changes in their life this year where they've left unhappy relationships, and
good for them. Good.
They're so bright and happy. I'm so happy for them. I'm sure it's been super hard because that's a huge decision, but I know that their decision to choose to have more happiness in their life is just good. All around good.
Think about it though. Like, it's like, why would you stay living your only life that we have this time?
YOLO.
Why would you? I mean, I don't believe in YOLO. I believe that we definitely live multiple lives and we're going to live again. But why would we allow ourselves to go through something that makes us miserable? You know, like, don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. Value yourself.
Get out of that misery. Yeah. Be happy. You deserve happiness. Like, I've been, I told you about those Christmas cards that I was part of doing or whatever. That. And, the number one thing I like to write to these people that I actually don't know. I don't know these people at all, other than the fact that they love Blue October.
Yeah.
So we can relate on that level, but I always try to remind them, you are amazing and you deserve the best, because you do. You all do.
Yes.
You all deserve the best. You should only be striving for what's best for you and of course, happy. You know, your kids and all that, but you should be making yourself happy, because if you're happy, everybody around you is happy.
Exactly.
You gotta put that focus and energy on making sure that you're taken care of, so you can take care of everybody else.
So you can be the best you for everyone around you.
Mm-hmm. And you know, when you're happy and bubbly, it does spread. It spreads like fire. When you're angry and pissed off, guess what? That spreads too. Makes everybody else in bad mood.
People can feel it. You don't even have to say anything sometimes. It's just a vibe.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I have my days.
Oh my gosh.
Especially when I'm like girl time and I'm like just like grouchy. Everybody's like, "What's up, Krystal? You're really pissy right now."
I try to like stay away from people around that time.
Me too. Like, I'm gonna lock myself in my room. Don't talk to me until I'm like past this mood, because
Yeah.
I definitely feel like I've had so many more up days than down days, and it's just because I'm trying to focus on the rainbows. There's so many good things going on, and I mean, this is my favorite day of the week.
I know. Well,
I've been saying that a lot.
Darla said, "I have to go now, but I want you both to know that I always enjoy joining you on here. You both on here.
Aww.
You two are amazing and so encouraging. I love it. Keep up the good work. Have a wonderful day." I love you, Darla, and I love that you come here and you join us for this, because it's like, I don't get to see you very much in person, but getting to like have this conversation with you, you know, every Wednesday, I love it. So it's definitely great. I love you. Have a great day.
It's so great. I love that we can connect with other people through this.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's beautiful.
I love that I get to talk to you every week on this. Like,
I know.
It's bringing me back to 2 years ago when we used to just be together every single day.
I know.
And you know, we didn't have that for such a long time, and it was really sad, and I felt that. I felt that missing. So I'm glad that we can connect, and then I'm glad that I've been able to connect with so many people because of it. I've had so many people reach out to me that I haven't talked to in a long time. My friend David popped on last week, and I actually had a really good conversation with him. I hadn't talked to him in a long time, and that was awesome.
That's so cool.
But yeah, like it's great, because like people we may have not gotten to talk to have popped on, and we've made lots of new friends too.
That's true.
Yeah, we love all of our friends that tune in with us and chat in and help, you know, steam up this conversation.
Yeah, we definitely don't see you guys as just fans or viewers or anything like.
No,
you're our friends and family, and you're our brothers and sisters on this planet. So like, we don't care about the numbers, and we don't care about all that. We just want to, like, if we can reach you and, you know, encourage you or uplift you in some way, like, that's our goal. So
yeah,
you know,
I mean, like,
we're happy that
they're contributing members of It's Always Now.
Yes.
I feel like we all can be a part of this. We all can be, you know, we can all help affect other people in a good way.
Yeah.
And you know, if I'm helping anybody have a good day, that's it. That's the best
period.
ever. I know that, this helps me every day because it's become such a huge part of my life.
Yeah.
And it is like somebody somebody the other day thought this was my job.
Oh
And
my
don't get me wrong,
goodness.
I love my job.
Yeah.
I seriously, I love my job. My job is very chill. I have really amazing bosses. I have an amazing team of people that I get to work with every day.
Yeah.
And I love it. Now, if this was my job, if podcasting was my job, oh my gosh. Like, this is being able to talk to you as a job, that's easy.
You never know. But
you never know. It could be. But like, I mean, I hope that I have my job forever.
Yeah, I love your job too. I'm like, ever since I found out what she did, I've been like, I want to do that because it's so cool. Like, she works for an app development company that is amazing, and I don't know.
And we make games and do lots of random stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fun.
That's
and
so cool.
But more so, for me, it's the culture of the people that I work with. Because there's some other media platform people that aren't so pleasant to work for, but I got lucky. My team at Random Logic is freaking amazing.
Yeah.
They're just really wholesome dudes. I'm the only girl right now.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, I'm the mama cat of the team. And I'm in the older crowd because we have a lot of younger people that work for us too. But I love my job.
Yeah.
But again, like, if podcasting with you was my job, that's pretty.
It is like a part-time job. Like,
it is like a part, but I mean, it's just a hobby.
That's the thing, though. Like, when you do what you love, it's not work.
It's not a job. Yeah.
You're creating and you're doing stuff that means something to you, and it ends up meaning something to some other people too. And so it's beautiful. I love that, and I feel like that's what everybody should do. I feel like they should
exactly.
What they love.
You should focus on things that make you happy. Hobbies. I like to play my guitar, and I like to sing with my kid, and I like to talk to Jessica, and these are great things that I have pushed and forced myself to say, you're going to do these things because it's great. And anybody can do that. You just have to make it a point to change what you're doing, put things that make you happy at the top of the list.
Renee says sometimes we have to have the misery to know the good. And yes.
Oh yeah.
That's definitely a law in the universe for sure. Like, you can't know the good without knowing the bad.
I know. I feel like God, if he wants me to learn something, he's going to give me that trial more than once. He's going to be like, all right.
It's going to come to you until it snaps into place. And then you're like, oh, okay, this doesn't need to happen anymore.
No.
Yeah.
Like David and I were talking about, so, when we bought our property, we were prompted, like, don't buy it. Don't buy it. Like, we both got this heavy feeling not to buy it. And we just said, no, we already put the money down. We got to buy it now. Mm-hmm. And we ignored that feeling. And we kept trucking along, and then things started getting hard again. And we kept getting this prompting, like, hey, you better figure out what you're going to do. Hey, it's coming.
Hello.
Knock, knock.
You didn't listen to me the first time or the second time, and now it's gonna be this big dramatic event because
yeah.
I know.
And I think a lot of us got that boom too this year.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I felt like if we would have kept trying, that even if things got better, even if we never had failed, or had hard times, there was still the nudge. Hey, you got to change this because it's not in line with what you should be focusing on. You are not focusing on what's important.
Exactly.
You need to focus on what's important. And we kept getting that nudge, and we kept ignoring it until, like you said, a boom.
Yep.
Boom, boom. Here it is.
Boom, boom, baby.
And I'm so grateful for the boom.
Me too.
Thank you, 2020 boom. Somebody said 20. Don't worry about 2020. it's turning 21. Watch out,
It's gonna
drunk.
go through its party phase.
I'm like, no, that's a good thing. It'll be a party. I hope so.
Oh my goodness.
I'm like ready for. I need the music, man.
Yeah.
I miss the music.
Yeah.
The
Make
live. I went to
Make it.
27 concerts in, I think it was 2018, and
That's crazy.
that was the best year ever. In 2019, I worked literally my whole life away. So yes, I liked 2018 going to concerts, but I'd love to do all that with my new perspective.
Yes.
Just because, I want to be in those concerts. I want to be on stage. I want to be making music. That's what I want to. That's my next goal is just to be doing that.
Just do it now.
Yes. Well, my cousin Les and I are working. He's been working on some things so that we can perform again, even if it's like a drive-in concert or even a digital concert, just to spread the joy of music, because that's what it does. Music is joy.
Okay, so one cool thing that my mom was talking about doing, and I don't know if she's gonna actually do it, but I think that she should. If she's listening, I think she should do it. For how we played the singing bowls outside at night for the winter solstice thing.
Oh my gosh, that was so beautiful.
She was thinking that we would go to the park, and where they have that little amphitheater thing, and we would set up, and anybody could come and listen to the singing bowls, and we would just play it out in the park, because it would be so good. The vibrations from those bowls is amazing. It's like,
oh my gosh.
If you allow yourself to just relax into it, you just soak it up, and it like flows through your entire body, and it just like, oh my gosh, makes you feel so good. So
it's so beautiful. When you shared it, I was like, please share this on It's Always Now. People share it.
I always think like maybe things like that aren't super. I don't know. I'm just a weirdo. I don't think enough about like how I should post things.
But like I if you guys haven't had a chance to hear it, it's on our channel. It's on I think it's on both Facebook and Instagram.
It's just a clip, but it's so
It's a little clip. So you know what? You should actually record like a longer session of you guys playing the bowls, and put it on like our YouTube channel or something.
Yeah.
It's just like it's a good, just like calming sound. Like I was like, oh, it's beautiful. Like my mom likes to play certain music when she's doing facials and stuff.
Yeah.
And it kind of reminded me of that feeling of just like zen and like just beautiful.
It's so nice.
Just calming. Mm-hmm. Music is so powerful.
It really is. Think about
lyrics
it, though.
are powerful, but sound is powerful. Like
because we are sound. We are vibration. We are the music of the universe. Our bodies are the art of the universe. We're beautiful and we're amazing, and look at us. Like we're so gorgeous.
Gonna change the world, man.
Everyone and everything on the planet. We are all beautiful in our own beautiful, gorgeous way. We are the universe. So definitely act like it. Don't let anybody put you down, because you are the universe just as much as the next person.
You are all amazing. We are all meant to be amazing, beautiful, free things in the world. And I'm just really glad that we can focus on all these beautiful things that we have in our life, and hear all these beautiful things that everybody else has experienced this year. And if you had something good happen to you in 2020, tell us, comment below. Let us know, because we love hearing about what happened.
Share the good.
And and if you ever need someone to talk to, we love to talk, and we love to try to help people see the brighter side of things. We're always trying to look at that. I mean, it's hard to see the bright side sometimes, but it's always there. There's always a rainbow in your life. I promise you, there is always a rainbow.
That reminds me of that song that I love. It's called Rainbow by Casey Musgraves.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I love that song, because she's like, there's always been a rainbow hanging over your head. You just have to let yourself see it. I love that song. Oh my gosh, it reminds me of you so much. Okay, But yeah, so definitely share your experiences with us. Follow us on social media to keep up with, like, when we're going live and getting the notifications for that. If you guys like what you see and what you hear, definitely be sure to tune in. We go live every Wednesday, 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time and 7 a.m. Hawaii time.
Ooh, yeah, like and subscribe so you get those notification
Yeah.
bell things
For
or
those of you
whatever.
guys who are following on YouTube, I don't know if you guys know that there's a little bell that you have to click if you want to get the notifications for when we're going live. So
Yep.
make sure to click the little bell next to the subscribe button so you get those. Ding!
Yes. And we'll
Yeah.
be, I think we're doing, it's Christmas on Far Out Friday this week, but
It is.
I think we're doing something. I think we're doing something for Far Out Friday.
Something for Far Out Friday.
We'll find out if we do. Yeah, and yeah, we will see you guys next week. We're going to be talking about obviously New Year's resolutions and ways to impact your surroundings, and I think maybe leave a smaller carbon footprint. Maybe is that the right?
Yeah, I would say like definitely a more sustainable life.
We're going to rehash some of the things we talked about on episode 1 that got deleted. So be sure to check us out next week and think about your New Year's resolutions maybe. We're going to touch on those a little bit and then touch on some other things that are good for everyone and the world.
Yeah, definitely. So let your
We
ripple
love
be one
you.
of love. We love you all. Let your vibration affect everybody around you. And we love you. See you guys next week.
Yes, we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.